What's going on, guys? Freaky Trades here, bringing you another new weekly stock watch list. Before we get started, though, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. Without much more being said, though, key thing earning for the week, Nvda. Nvda will be the stock that everyone will be watching and be talking about. Now, obviously, you have other important stocks like Neo, Target, Snow, Baidu, a bunch of these other stocks that we don't really look at, but could provide some sort of nice after earnings move. Now, with it being Q4 with the final earnings of the year for this stock, who knows where Nvda could go, right? I'm not looking to gamble and swing anything on this because it's gambling. Can't control my risk on that. Basically whatever you're putting in, you're just expected to lose everything. So not my kind of style of trading. I'm just going to see what kind of after earnings move Nvda has, whether it be something at an all-time high, something at a new low. Who knows, right? We'll have to wait and see what that provides for us after Wednesday. So as far as the main stock watch list goes, though, of course, this is what everyone will be waiting for. And go ahead and get started with that. So as far as ES and NQ goes, charts I would say are pretty identical to each other, almost to a T. ES and NQ are both stuck in ranges right now. Obviously they sold off the last few days, Thursday and Friday, but I mean, as far as any specific levels go, I don't have anything. We sold off back into the range that we had recently broken out of, and so really now at this point it's gonna wait. It's a waiting game. We have to wait and see where ES and NQ are gonna head off. With ES, we're stuck in the middle of it all, so I'm either looking at 6,000 to the upside, or I'm waiting for anything below 5,800 if we come back down there. So that's the story with ES. No trend lines, no nothing there. It's pretty much just a range that I'm looking at for ES. And like I said, it's the same exact thing with NQ here. NQ, I'm either looking at 21,000 back to the upside or looking at 20,000 back to the downside, with the 19,900 level up next after that, and seeing if we can have a strong hold below 20,000 going into that 19,900 area. So like I said, it's a big range, nothing to really keep an eye out for as far as trend lines or anything goes. It's going to be important to see how NQ and ES manage to be in this range and how it either manages out of it, or if we come back down, how we go about it after that. So that's NQ and ES. As far as the main watches goes, though, I am looking at Apple. Apple, a lot of people can make the argument that 229 could be something to keep an eye out for because it's close to a double top here, or even a flat top if you want to call it that in some form of way. But I'm not interested at 230, not at 229 or 230. We kind of messed around with that area a lot. And when it comes to the downside, though, we haven't really came back down to really test that 220 area ever since it had earnings that since October 31st, so roughly 2 weeks ago, almost 3. So it is something to keep an eye out for 220. Now, obviously, with it being far away, it still has some time to develop, but I think this is something that Apple has some potential for if we were to come back down on 220, especially if this is ahead of the market with where we are currently stuck with the range with ES and NQ. So it's something to keep an eye out for. Next up is Meta. Now, obviously, Meta had one of the more aggressive sell-offs from Friday, and really left us with not too much. So if I go to the 4-hour here, you guys can see that we do have a gap from 545 down to 542. That'll be the second area where I'll be looking to trade Meta. The first area I'll be looking to trade on Meta is here at 551.50 going into 550, or maybe I just skip 551.50 and just trade 550 as a separate scalp, or as its own scalp, right? Instead of just trying to take the low here. Meta wicks are pretty aggressive. If you're caught on the wrong side, those contracts and the wicks end up hurting a lot on Meta. So it's something I want to be really careful about and take my time as far as the setup and when it approaches. So those will be the areas I'll be looking at for Meta. Last but not least is Shopify. I know it's weird. I don't have Tesla. I don't have Microsoft, AMD, a bunch of these other stocks that people normally would have. But my reason behind it is a lot of those stocks have been based a lot around divergence. And when it comes to divergence plays, a lot of those come within intraday. So if you're part of Stock Hours Chat and you saw what Nor was able to do to the market last week, absolutely nuts. I think around 280% in gains, I believe, from his signals. So if you had $1,000 account, that would have been at what, like 2,800, roughly, from point A, which is Monday, to point B, which would be going into Friday. So absolutely insane week. Nor absolutely killed it, and a lot of those plays did happen to be around market divergence, especially with Tesla. So we do have plays on Tesla, but those happen to be intraday. So if you're part of Stock Hours, if you don't know, then you're just out of the loop. So as far as Shopify goes here, This is the other setup that I do like. We have roughly around a $13 gap here from 105 all the way down to 92. Now, the only areas that I will be looking to trade Shopify is at 105 and 100. Now, the only thing to keep an eye out for on Shopify to be careful about is the lack of volume on the contracts. If there's a lack of volume, the spreads are going to be just as bad as well, kind of showing that that there is no liquidity behind the contracts. Usually like that when you play it to the downside. Obviously, I had a lot of volume this week because of the move it made from earnings. And, of course, it's an after earnings move, so, of course, it's going to have some volume after that. So, obviously, with earnings being out of the way now, who knows if this is actually going to have some volume when it comes to the downside or to the upside if we ever come back up to 115. So, but yeah, that is about it for the watch list, guys. It's short and sweet, not too complicated. Hope you guys enjoy it. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. And with that much more being said, hope you guys play it safe throughout the week and take care. Peace out.